Yes, I think that an increasing number of Americans desperately want a change in our political leadership, starting with him getting the hell out of that position. But no, that's a sitting vice president who is calling for every major American city to be occupied by the military, by the National Guard, maybe by the Marines. And this is, look, is it better or worse that he definitely didn't think this 2 years ago? It's not like he came up in politics as dreaming of the day he could dispatch tanks into Detroit or whatever. But now he has to believe it because that's what Donald Trump is doing. That's what MAGA wants. After decades of fearing federal government power, fearing the takeover, tyranny and all that, now they're all begging to be occupied by the government. And so JD Vance doesn't want it to end at DC. He's not happy for it to be New Orleans or Chicago. He wants it all over the place. I think that is as anti-American as possible. This is so deeply unpatriotic that you would deploy the military against our own people. I believe that he is a traitor to core American values, but that's what he believes. And bear in mind, again, I'm just gonna remind everyone of the actual state of crime because we're being gaslit on a daily basis by this. If you take a look at it, these trends in terms of violent crime and property crimes and victimization and all that, down, 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 down. Now you see a little bit of an uptick in the wake of the pandemic for fairly obvious reasons, and things are once again improving after that. But that's inconvenient. Again, it is politically inconvenient to acknowledge the truth if your goal is to occupy America from the east to the west coast. And bear in mind, even before this push for the invasion, more and more people are more and more worried about crime, even as the numbers were going down. So these numbers only go back, if we go to graphic 2, the past couple of years. And understandably, crime was actually ticking up during these years. But let's also bear in mind that we live in a world now where not only do we have local news, which is always gonna focus on the crimes, if it bleeds, it leads and everything. Every bit of videotaped crime is shoved into your face 1,000 times a second on Twitter and TikTok and all of that. And so everyone thinks things are worse than they actually are. And that's bad enough for the mental and emotional state of the American people. But when you have opportunistic people like JD Vance and Donald Trump using it to advance their fascistic goals, I think that's even more dangerous.